From the beginnings of time, man has told stories. Among his favorite are of the unexplained. Arthur C. Clarke once said, "There exist two possibilities. Either we are alone in the universe, or we are not. Either is equally terrifying. Only a fool discounts as impossible that which falls outside his experience. And thus, we have tales from beyond the veil." Even he who is pure of heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when the wolfbane blooms and the moon is full and bright. So runs an ancient rhyme describing the risk run by even good and honest people of becoming werewolves. What the vampires are to Transylvania, the werewolves are to Northern and Western Europe. The werewolf legends may have sprung from myths of the Norse gods, who are said to change into animal forms, such as the bear and the wolf. Later, during the 16th century witch hunts, the idea developed that a witch could change into a wolf, so it was grafted onto the list of creatures, toads and cats and hares, from whose form witches are said to assume. In its human form, it's not easy to distinguish a werewolf from a vampire, since they share many of the same characteristics. These include eyebrows that meet, claw-like fingernails, small ears that may be slightly pointed, and hair growing on the palms. But there is one slight difference. A werewolf's third finger on each hand is supposed to be as long as, or longer than, the second finger. Transformed, the creature appears either as an extra-large wolf, moving on all fours, or as an extremely hairy biped, retaining recognizable, though particularly repulsive human facial features and clawed hands. In either of these shapes, it tears out the throats of its victims and devours the flesh raw. In Italy, it is believed that some werewolves grew hair internally, and in 1541, at least one suspect died under the scalpels of his examiners. England's unpopular King John, who reigned from 1199 to 1216, was said to have been a werewolf. A Norman chronicle describes how monks, hearing sounds from his grave, dug him up and took his body out of consecrated ground. Thus the ill presage of his surname, Lackland, was completely realized, for he lost in his lifetime almost all the domains under his supervision, and even after death he could not keep peaceful possession of his own tomb. There are many ways in which a man may become a werewolf. A medieval churchman, Gervas of Tilbury, said that stripping naked and rolling in the sand under a full moon was an effective method. But in Italian folklore, being conceived at the time of a new moon, or sleeping outdoors under a full moon on a Friday, was enough to create the werewolf. In Ireland, St. Patrick is said to have cursed an entire clan who displeased him by their lack of faith, and he turned them all into werewolves. Some European legends say that drinking from a stream from which a wolf is watered, or being bitten by a rabid wolf, or eating the wolfbane plant will cause the transformation. The methods used to deal with werewolves are equally varied. French-Canadian lore advocates the exorcism by speaking the name of Christ, or calling the werewolf 3 times by its true Christian name. In France, it is said that the loup-garou, as werewolves are known, could be defeated by taking 3 drops of the blood from the creature while it was in its wolf state. But by far the best known method of freeing a human from the curse of the werewolf is to shoot the creature with a silver bullet, preferably consecrated silver, such as a crucifix from a church. Practically every nation has its lore of were-creatures. In Africa, some primitive people believe in men who become were-leopards. In Asia, the were-tiger is feared by the superstitious. And Scandinavians believed in people who hunted as bears. Strangely, some of these weird stories may be founded on fact. Odd cases, fortunately rare, have been reported of people who believed they were animals and who attempted to drink blood and eat raw flesh. This condition is known as zoanthropic paranoia. From 1764 to 1767, an unknown monster terrorized shepherds and shepherdesses who worked in the fields near the Avignon Mountains in France. Known as the Beast of Gévaudan, the creature was held responsible for the savage deaths of 40 people and vicious attacks on more than 110. Local people claimed the creature was red, covered in scales, and had a mouth the size of a lion. It could run at a tremendous speed and evade any trap or hunter. In 1767, a large wolf was killed, and the attacks ceased. But no one's certain whether some other beast or human was responsible.